All right. This is Beer 30 Sports O'Clock. Oh, jeez. Yo, that was that was amazing. All right then. Shout out to Roaring Sons. Paleta de Mango just destroyed the table here. Um, Man, that's crazy. So, yo, it's man, it's pretty good beer. Not gonna lie. Uh, I was not expecting that to just like explode. That just like, damn. All right, so shout out to Roy and Sons, based out of here in Fort Worth, man. Shout out to them, Texan Proud. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Total Wine for always having the beer selection is always on point. You can get beer from all over the country at Total Wine, and if they don't have it, they'll order it. Things like that. So those that are looking for beers different than what they're used to drinking, craft beers, things like that, Total Wine is where it's at. All right, let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. I'm excited about this week. So, first and foremost, news you can booze to. Uh, Brawny. The Summer League. Summer League has more haters, more eyes on it than I've seen in a long time. Like, I haven't talked about the Summer League this much in forever. I feel like that the boy, he can do no right. You know what I mean? Like, he can't get right. There's no opportunity for him to do unless he comes out scoring 50 points a game. It just looks absolutely like the next coming of Jordan. He can't. He's gonna do nothing right. So, um, although he was the 55th pick, like it wasn't like he was the number 10 or the number 2. Yes, he did go 0 and 12. He did also go 0 and 15 from 3-point line. I understand. I get it. But he was the 55th pick. Relax. I feel like everybody's just losing their mind because it's Bronny, it's LeBron's son. He's not his pops, man. He's just not his pops, and I think we need to let it go. I think there is too much pressure on him. He's gonna be a role player. He's a work in progress. Hell, his coach thinks he's gonna be a defensive guy. His coach don't even think he's gonna be like. Yeah, it's just, man. I feel like he's gonna go to the G League. Um, that's where it's heading. But I also feel like that's fine. He's the 55th pick. Like, can we get that through our heads, right? He's the 55th pick. It's not like he's a top 10, which, by the way, the second pick in the draft went 0 in like 14 or 15 his damn self, and he's the second pick in the draft. Nobody batted an eye. Nobody said a word about it. I feel like this draft class was really not that great in the first place. Everybody's talking about the best you could get is role players. I think an NBA exec said something about if you got a Tobias Harris, then you end up winning in this draft, which is crazy because that means you're literally looking for role players and role players only. I don't understand the mania. I mean, I understand it. I get it. Y'all are haters. It's just straight up haters. It is what it is. All right, on to soccer. Uh, England lost to Spain in the Euro tournament. I thought they were going to pull it off. It was a really good game. I believe the score was 2-1. I thought England had they had everything going for them. Spain just didn't look worried. They didn't look under duress. They looked very relaxed. They looked very, very comfortable going against England. They looked like they were in the game the whole time. There wasn't any crazy antics or anything like that. It wasn't nothing that they hadn't seen before. Basically, they had been here before, so they were acting like it. And it's just crazy to me how good they've really looked. They're my favorites to be in the World Cup finals. So if everybody's healthy, Spain is very, very scary. Speaking of health, Argentina pulled it off against Colombia in the Copa tournament as well, Copa America's tournament as well. Even with Messi leaving with his ankle the size of a child's soccer ball, like it was swollen. It looked crazy. Like it was absolutely crazy. He left the game early. They went ahead and still won 1-0. They still came and took the championship. Argentina looked good too. Colombia looked a little outmatched, you know. Unlike England, where they were kind of like underdogs and running through and things like that, Colombia had been winning. You know, they had went undefeated. They had not lost a game this entire tournament, and they were in the lead a lot of the tournament for getting to this point. So Colombia looked like they were ready to roll, and then they met Argentina, and it just looked like they were outmatched. So, congrats to Argentina. Congrats to Spain. Hopefully, England, hopefully Argentina or Colombia, excuse me, can pull it together for the World Cup and go far. But I just don't see. I don't see anybody beating Spain. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So, on to the NFL. Because you know we love the NFL. You know we love the NFL. First and foremost, Brandon Ayuk requested a trade. Huh? Brandon Ayuk? Now, mind you, this is a tactic. We've seen this before. Debo, we've seen this before in contract talks. Like, they request a trade, knowing they don't want to go anywhere else. They have the best shot to win here. They know they have the best shot to get the money that they want where they're at. Doing this on NFC West week is crazy. Shout out to Brandon Ayuk for bringing this to us. Oh, no. Shout out to, like, it's honestly, I feel like Brandon Ayuk is doing this to get the contract he wants, or at least close as he wants to the contract he wants. But I don't think that he is really trying to leave. He said it in interviews with Ryan Clark. He said that, what are the uniforms you could see yourself in next year? First answer was a Niners uniform, most likely a Niners uniform. Next one was Commanders or Steelers. I mean, yeah, great, but I just don't see it, at least not right now. The draft has already come and went. This is just a tactic to get the money that he wants. And I'm not mad at him. Like, if you want to go ahead and do that, and you want to go ahead and get the money you want, you request a trade. Shit, you might end up getting the money you want. You might end up on another team. Still, you're gonna get the money you want. But I don't think that Ayuk is going nowhere. So now, on to Mad Dog. There's been a lot of lists. This is around the time, the All-Star weekend for baseball just happened. Euro Cup tournaments, stuff like that. Football's dead, are about to start back up, training, draft, summer league. It's very low time in sports, right? Like, it's not a lot of action going on. So sometimes people put out these lists and, try to create a stir. Mad Dog has rabies and has lost his damn mind. This top 10 quarterback list is atrocious. Like, atrocious. So, first and foremost, we just gotta talk about like this constant disrespect. But we're gonna get to it because if you haven't seen it yet, number one is Patrick Mahomes, obviously. Number two is Joe Burrow. Okay, coming off an injury. I mean, whatever, cool. Number three, Aaron Rodgers. Now, as a Packer fan, I'm okay with this one. He literally just came off of an injury. Like a bad injury, season-ending injury. He's older, and he's on the Jets. So, number three is kind of outlandish, especially with some of the other names that are on this list. Number four is Josh Allen. which should be at number 3. But I mean, you could interchange that, whatever the case may be. Matt Stafford is number 5, which, okay, I give you that. He's a little, it's a reach. It's a reach. It's definitely a reach. Jalen Hurts is number 6. I mean, eh, okay, all right. Number 7 is Lamar Jackson. First off, let's just stop the slander on Lamar. Like, 2-time MVP. Like, can we stop the disrespect to Lamar Jackson? He is a quarterback. I know he's athletic as hell, but he is still a great throwing arm quarterback. So can we start putting him at the top 5, please, with a little more respect? Okay, all right. Let me step off my high horse. Yeah. Jared Goff. I can see it. You know, he deserves to be in the top 10. He's done some good things in Detroit. C.J. Stroud was number 9. It's a little early to put him in the top 10 off top. Now, I know he had a great year. I know that he's set up to win and set up to have an even better year this next year coming. With the adding of Diggs on his roster and the team, you know, being together another year. It's just a little early for me to be putting him in the top 10. It's just a little bit too premature. Last one is Justin Herbert, number 10. Back to the disrespect. Listen, I like Justin Herbert. I think the talent is there. But when are we going to start having the conversation that man is overrated? And what I mean by that is the person that they left off of the list was Dak. How do you take Dak off the list? How do you not have... He beat this man in every category except for interceptions. And he was sacked less. So those are the only 2 things that Herbert beat him in. As a quarterback, I don't see it. I don't see what the hype is. I don't see why they just the Dak hate is beyond disrespectful. The man we're just talking last year, right? Herbert only played 13 games. Okay, whatever. But he threw 65% compared to 69.5 or 70 if you want to round up or round down. 65.1 to 69.5. That's a big difference. 4,500 yards to 3,134 yards. Okay, another big difference. 7.7 yards per attempt versus 6.9 yards per attempt. Splitting hairs on that one, but still Dak is in front. Touchdowns, 36 compared to 20. 4 games? Yeah. Interceptions, 7, Justin Herbert, 9, Dak. I get it. Yeah, I get it. I understand that's the one and only thing that he has over him. But the disrespect is just crazy. I know Herbert hasn't been in the league that long, as long as Dak, but I mean, I really feel like a lot of times we just put this dude up on a pedestal, and he's had opportunity after opportunity, and I don't see it. I don't see it. How you can put him in the top 10 over Dak, to me, is just blatant disrespect. But we're talking just seasons. Again, we're talking just the season, not the playoffs, because everybody knows, playoffs is a different ball game. It's just the disrespect is kind of crazy, man. It's just like it's getting out of hand. I feel like Dak does not get the respect he deserves. So, yeah, and I'm not a Cowboy fan at all. Like at all. Green Bay all day. At all. I'm a fucking Packer fan. We took them out the playoffs. I'm all packed out. You know what I mean? But come on, man. That disrespect is crazy. All right. So All-Star happened for All-Star weekend or week happened for MLB. It was actually great. It was here in Arlington. I got to see a lot of stuff. HBCU, Ken Griffey, We got to see auctions. I got to see the actual. They had like because there's two stadiums. So they had like the stadium with the baseball, and they had like where you could go and do all these fun activities. Like it was dope, man. I ain't gonna lie. It was a really good look for Arlington. Arlington had a really good showing. Everybody, it was like there wasn't no major incidents that I heard of or anything like that. So, and all week, there were events everywhere. So it was a really good, really good. It makes me want to go to other cities for the All-Star Week and see what they do, right? So AL beat the NL 5-3. And Oscar Hernandez won the home run derby. But he wasn't the story. He was not the story. Ingrid Andress, bring your drunk ass here. You get the beer goggles of the week. This put Fergie to shame.
Who's broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, or the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets spread glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Bro, what the fuck? What the fuck was that, man? Oh my God, that was atrocious. Bruh, beer, goggles. You know it's bad when you gotta go to rehab like the next day. Cause she came out like and said, hey, look, I was drunk. I'm going to rehab, whatever the case. Bruh, the fuck? Nah, fam. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. She put Fergie to shame. Here are the beer goggles of the week for you, Miss Ingrid Andress. You will go down in history as one of the worst national anthems of all time. Maybe of all time. Yeah, pretty much all time. So, I want to talk about something. This really ain't, it's sports, but it ain't really sports, right? It is NCAA 25 finally dropped. And man, it was everything we expected and more. Me personally, I definitely been playing it. I had to tell a couple people, listen, when the early release dropped, because when you get the deluxe edition, the early release dropped. I told people, listen, if you can't find me for a couple days, shoot me a text. I'm not gonna answer your calls. This is how.
Don't call me. I'm on NCAA. God and Jesus can walk earth today. Don't call me. I'm on NCAA. My girl can get caught in 4K having foreplay. Don't call me. I'm on NCAA. My son can get kidnapped and it's a ransom they want me to pay. It won't be today. I'm on NCAA. My sisters can be homeless and need somewhere to stay. Don't call me. I'm on NCAA. My mama can need me to rush her to the hospital because she got stung by a stingray. Don't call me. I'm on NCAA. My best friend can get robbed and be butt naked on the freeway. Don't call me. I'm on NCAA. But in a relationship, I'm doing things the single way. I don't care if World War III started today and we all need to pray. Don't call me. I'm on NCAA.
Facts. That's facts. Shout out to everybody that's been posting videos, man. NCAA dropped. We've been waiting for this for decade. over a decade now. And bro, when I tell you it is everything that we expected and more, I look, the controllers are still on the table. I'm still going back and forth trying to get this thing together. Like, oh man, listen. Grown men ain't had this much fun with over a video game or anything like this since like ever, fam. This was absolutely the greatest time for them to drop. We all have been going crazy. Dudes have been picking the colleges. Dudes have been draped in full out gear. It's been phenomenal. I can't front. It's been great. The videos out there are all over the place, making it just it's dope as hell. So again, I'm still playing. So and then yeah, bro, I've been playing for like 2 days straight. So yeah, so now let's get to the nitty gritty. The NFC West. Whew, the NFC West. This division, besides like the AFC North, this is probably the second toughest. This is probably the second toughest division because of the talent. Excuse me, because of the talent, because of the rosters from front to back. These dudes are from Niners, from Rams, from Seahawks. Hell, if the Cardinals get it together, they could be, I mean, a really scary team as well. It's kind of unfair. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. But the great thing about it is that they beat up on each other, right? So they eliminate each other just off the strength, right? I will say that the Rams have a good roster. They're building something there. Quarterback is under question. Obviously, Matt Stafford is in the top 10. But Matt Stafford, he's had years where he's disappeared because of injury, or he's older. He's getting older now. So, Aaron Donald retired. So it leaves the defense with a big question mark. I just don't see Matt helping them to take the division. Nuka Puka, I said it. I butchered his name. Where is he at? Puka Nakua. Yeah, my bad. Puka Nakua. Great season last year. Nobody saw it coming. Tutu Atwell, Cooper Kupp coming back. They just ain't got no real. I mean, Kyron Williams is cool. They just don't have nothing, crazy on that running back squad. But wide receivers are good. They got Jimmy G as a backup. He's suspended just in case of Matt being hurt. But I mean, in all honesty, like, I just don't know. The Rams have a pretty, obviously they gotta fight through their own division. Plus they got a pretty tough schedule, right? The Seahawks are also a good roster offensively. I think they're one of the better of the division. They've got DK. They still got Tyler Lockett. They got Jackson Smith. Yeah. They got Noah Fant, who could be good, but again, the quarterback. I mean, yes, I was happy for Geno signing the extension, getting the chance, doing his thing. But I really feel like Geno is not. He's not of caliber to take them higher than. I could see them making the playoffs, but I can't see them winning their division. Now, for the Niners, and I can't stand them. Even if Ayuk leaves, and that's a very big even, right? That's a very big if, even, possibility, whatever the case may be, right? That's a very big if. If he leaves, they still will be hard to beat, as long as everybody stays healthy, right? You have Christian McCaffrey, who is a fucking dog. One of the rawest running backs out there. They have one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Period. Their defense ain't missing a beat. They drafted good. their corner that they drafted looks like a fucking man-made AI robot that they did in a lab. Like this dude is fucking Jesus. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I don't think Ayuk is leaving again. I think he's taking a page out of Debo's book. They still have Brock Purdy, who is underpaid, hungry, and they've been to the NFC Finals the year before with him, and then they went to the championship. They lost there. Like, they are trying to get that sixth ring. They are not playing. They are building something there, and they continue to build it. Again, I don't think Ayuk leaves. Even if he does, they still have a roster that is to be feared. I do believe in Brock Purdy a little more than I believe in older Matt Stafford and a second chance Geno Smith. I just do. So I'm gonna say it. I think that the Niners are gonna win the division. They have a schedule. It's tough. Obviously, they went to the Super Bowl, so they have a pretty tough schedule. But it's not as tough as it sounds, right? So they first play the Jets at home. I'm sorry, that's not a good look for Aaron Rodgers, who just got back. They play at the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy's not signed yet. He's not showing up. The Vikings are in trouble. The Rams at Rams. Tough division game. They usually split. From what I've gathered, they usually split. They play Patriots at home, Cardinals at home, and then at Seahawks. So very possibly 1, 2, 3. 3-2 out of the first 5 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 3-2, maybe 4-1. Like that's that. Listen, that's a hell of a start. And then obviously they got the Chiefs at home, and then they got the Cowboys at home. Which anytime the Cowboys are in town, it's they hate each other just as much as Green Bay hates them. I don't know. It's just everybody that's like the top 4 teams just hate each other, and I love it. I'm not gonna lie, I really do love it. Everybody's like on some real fuck you vengeance type shit, and I'm all for it. So, I just think that after that it gets very, very, very watered down. Their schedule's at Bucks, Seahawks at home, then they come to Green Bay, then they're at Buffalo, then Bears at home, Rams at home, at the Dolphins, Lions at home, and at Cardinals to finish it off. But I mean, in all honesty, they could easily 10, 11 games and win the division, no problem. Now, Seahawks, like I said, I don't really see it. They got Broncos, then they got at Patriots, then they got the Dolphins, and then they got at the Lions. So they could easily be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, they could be 4. They could be 4-1 as well. Their schedule gets a little tougher towards the end, though. They're gonna see the Niners. They're gonna see the Rams at home. They're gonna see the Bills at home. They gotta see. Then they gotta see. Yeah, before that they gotta see the Niners at home. Like, it's not. They got to see the Packers, and it ends pretty easy. The Vikings, they see 3 NFC North teams all in one swoop, but by that time they're banged up, beat up, and pretty tough. I think the Seahawks have the closest shot to the throne. I just don't see it because their schedule in the beginning or in the middle of the season gets a little tougher, and I just don't believe in Geno's second chance yet. So, with that being said, I will drink now from Lagunitas Brewing Company. We have the Island Beats, which is a tropical IPA. I guess we just sticking with the tropicals. It's summertime. I mean, fuck it, we here. You just gotta be tropical and. Okay. I like the can. It's cool. Their thing is like a dog, I guess. They're Lagunitas Brewing Company, right down the street from actual San Francisco. So. Eh, I mean, it's not bad. It's not good. It's like literally straight down the middle. Um, yeah. I mean, I could, again, I'm becoming an IPA guy, so maybe maybe this is my taste buds starting to disintegrate for the IPAs. I don't know. This is crazy. But that's how much faith I have in the Niners. I'm going back for a third drink. Um, yeah, so I think the Niners win the NFC West straight up. So now let's get to my favorite division, the one, the only, the NFC North. Woo! It's cold in the North, baby. All right, so first off, let me just say this. I have a bias. There's only really two teams. I don't believe in the Bears yet, although they have been putting some weapons around Caleb. They drafted Caleb Williams. I think he's going to be a better player than most people think. I think people are really letting the nail polish fool them. So I think, though, that he is going to be a better player than I think. I don't think he's going to be the best in the draft class as far as quarterbacks, but I do think he is going to give everybody a run for their money. With that being said, I still don't believe in the Bears. Vikings have two players, so I don't really believe in them either, really at all. So that boils down to Detroit, and of course Green Bay. And if you can't see it, his shirt's there. Shout out to Dead Threads. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so Detroit and Green Bay. Out of the two, Green Bay has one of the toughest schedules in the NFC and the NFL. Like I think it's like top 5 toughest schedules in the league. That's crazy. Coming from a team that didn't win their division last year, had not a rookie quarterback, but a first year starter, right? And one of the youngest wide receiving cores out there. What? Why are we barely made the playoffs? Why are we with the toughest schedule in the damn NFL? Like who the fuck sanctioned this? Meanwhile, Detroit, who is building and building and building, I mean, they are just making that team tough as fucking nails. That defense is crazy. That offense is smash mouth as shit. They love to get in your face and fight like they knew what they were doing when they hired their coach. They knew what they were doing when they how they drafted, and I just man, it's scary if you're an NFC North fan, or if you're a Bears fan, Vikings fan, Packer fan. You have to give respect to the Lions. Like they've been asked for so long, and now they are building correctly, and it's really a time like it's starting to get scary. Now the one thing that they have that I'm still is their running back situation. Right now they have Gibbs and Montgomery. I don't really believe in those two running backs, but my thing is their offensive line is kind of their offensive line is tough. Their offensive line is tough. Their defensive line is tough. They're gonna win a lot of battles on that line. It is what it is. Whereas Green Bay, um, I believe in the running backs. They picked up Josh Jacobs, even though they lost Aaron Jones. They still have AJ Dillon. They have Marshawn Lloyd, who I believe they drafted. Yeah, they drafted from USC. He's a dog. I'm gonna be honest. Like the 1-2 punch that they have in this running back is probably one of the better ones. They still have the young ass wide receiver core. The Christian Watson, the Romeo Dobbs, the Jalen Reed. They still got Musgrave, and they still got Wicks and Torrey, and they still have a really deep wide receiver core that is just with Jordan Love is rocking. He rocking, right? The biggest problem I have with my team, the Packers, is the defensive line. Really hasn't been shored up yet. I feel like Preston Smith is on his way out. Luke Van Ness is doing good, but he's still, he's second year. Devontae Wyatt, Kenny Clark, also Clark is actually a dog, so we ain't gonna talk about him too crazy. Rashawn Gary, they're building something too. Like they're not just going away. Quay Walker, linebacker core, who's leading the way. He just needs to keep his fucking head on his shoulders. And then Xavier McKinney, they picked up. They still have Jair Alexander, but Jair Alexander, I need him to pick up where he has some games where he just basically shuts down the wide receivers, and then there's some games he just ain't there. And yeah, so hopefully we'll figure it out. I think with the new defensive coordinator, they will figure it out. They will make the playoffs. I'm not saying they won't make the playoffs. I'm actually thinking they're going to shock the world, make the playoffs. But when it comes to this division, it's going to boil down to the schedule. Let me explain. Detroit's first two games are at home versus the Rams and the Bucks. We saw what they did with the Rams last time, and I don't believe in the Bucks. And you're talking about the Bucks coming to Detroit? Yeah, okay. Detroit is not now a place you want to play in anymore. They crowd is crazy loud. They get into it. It's a don't. They're gonna be turns. At Cardinals, depending on which Kyler Murray we get, which Cardinals we get, I mean, realistically speaking, they could be 1, 2, 3. They could be 2-1. I might say the Rams, but they could be 2-1, and then they have the Seahawks at home, at the Cowboys. Now, they did lose to the Cowboys last year on a fluke. They want revenge. They did not like losing to the Cowboys the way that they lost to the Cowboys. So best believe that is a game they have circled, highlighted, talked about already, and we'll be talking about during training camp and until that game comes. At Vikings, dub. Titans, dub. Then at Packers. Then at Houston. Then at home versus the Jaguars. Then at Colts. Then the Bears at home. Packers at home. Bills at home. 3 games at home. All of them sporadically, like one of them's 10 days away. So, I mean, their schedule is basically boiled down for them to get, pretty much so far ahead that it really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? They have the at Bears after the Bills, and they're at Niners. Sure, whatever. They could possibly lose both of those. I doubt it. They lose at Bears. And then the Vikings at home, last game. So, honestly, I feel like Green Bay, because of some of the fact that the schedule is kind of crazy. They play overseas versus the Eagles. And we know how Packers start off later, if you will. Like, they're not a early season, start off the season 4-1 or 2-1. Like, they're a comeback type of season team. First 3-4 games, very winnable games. Eagles technically overseas. Then they got to face the Colts after coming all the way back from Brazil. Then go to the Titans. Then at home with the Vikings. Then at the Rams. Right? This is where it starts getting crazy. Cardinals at home. Again, depending on which Cardinals show up. Texans at home. Texans is going to be raw. So the benefit, the great thing about it is that they're going to be at home. So it could possibly be cold. And Houston's used to playing in a dome. Used to playing in Texas. So hopefully that'll be something. Then at Jacksonville. Then the Lions at home. At Bears. Then the Niners at home. Then the Dolphins at home. Then at Lions, then at Seahawks, then the Saints at home, then at Vikings, and then the Bears at home. Bruh. That schedule gets really crazy towards the end, and like I said, they have one of the toughest schedules in the league. I believe it's top 5. So it's just really, 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 really hard for me to think that they're going to come out on top, but not to say that they're not going to make the playoffs. So with that being said, I think Detroit wins the NFC North. So I got to drink a beer from Michigan. And we're pulling up Bell's Oberon Eclipse. I'm not gonna lie, this can is kind of whack. Not gonna lie, it's a moon and a sun. I don't know. It's yeah. It's a citrus wheat, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, sounded good. I shouldn't have smelled that. Yo. Uh, ah. Nope, don't like it. And that's not just me hating on the Lions. I just don't. This is actually pretty nasty. Yeah, so we're gonna put that back. No, yeah, no. So I feel more comfortable now because that means that the Packers may fuck around and figure it out. But yeah, no. So I have the Lions winning the division. I have the Packers still making the playoffs, and I have the Niners winning their division, and the Rams possibly even the Seahawks possibly even the Rams making the playoffs. So yeah, man, it's gonna be a great NFL season. This concludes all of the divisions. You can tell me if I'm crazy. You can tell me it's time for the Seahawks to take over. Hell, you can tell me as a Packer fan I'm being fucking stupid. But again, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate y'all for checking with us, rocking with us this whole time with the NFC, AFC division winners. I do want to give, before I go, my condolences and rest in peace to Jacoby Jones' family and to Jelly Bean Bryant's family. Man, we lost two good people, athletes. Jacoby Jones was 40 years old, man, and it's crazy, brother. So rest in peace to them. Pour out a little something for them. Man, rest in peace. This is Beer 30 Sports O'Clock.